All right, so now I'm going to show you another base position for hip internal rotation. So it's going to be a 90-90 position. And in a true 90-90, what we do is we create 90-degree angles with both these legs. So hip to knee is aligned and the knee to ankle on both sides. Now for a lot of people, if they have external rotation limitations, this is going to be problematic. So they may need to tuck their leg in and then just focus more on that internally rotated side. This is a modified 90-90 and it's completely okay. Saying that, this position right here could also be very challenging for most people. So a lot of people are going to need a yoga block underneath this lead hip. So we're going to place it underneath the butt and sit on it. And then once again, same cues. We can see if we can start in this nice 90-90 position, maintaining a nice straight spine. Once again, if you have really poor external rotation and this is limiting you from accessing this stuff because it's really hard to sit in, you can tuck this in, or you may need to add a little bit more height on the yoga blocks that you're sitting in. For anyone that has okay external rotation and it's okay to keep it at that true 90, I'd say keep it like that because it actually may help you get into that hip stuff a little bit more on this internally rotated side. If it's messing that up, just tuck that leg in. So another thing we can do is if you get into this nice straight position and you're having a hard time feeling that internal rotation, there's two things we can do. One is go into rotation of the spine and rotate towards this internally rotated side. And now we'll feel the stretch right here. So top of the side butt kind of rotating inwards as well. If you try the rotation and it's still really hard for you to feel it, you can remain straight and then you could possibly elevate yourself up with a smaller block or a smaller prop on this back ankle. And this will help you get into more internal rotation without having to go into more external rotation. So these are a few things that you can play around with. So once again, we're trying to find the stretch here and through here. Now, when you're at true end range of internal rotation, if I ask you to lift your heel off of that yoga block, you should not be able to. So you shouldn't be able to do this. You should be in such a position where if I told you to go internal rotation, that heel would not elevate off the ground or off the block. So let's talk about your pails and rails cues. They're going to be very similar. So we're in internal rotation. So what I'm going to have you do for your pails contraction is pin your knee down and then try to initiate external rotation like you're driving your knee up into your hand. On your rails contraction, you're going to initiate the other way. You're going to initiate internal rotation, and you're going to imagine as if that back ankle is lifting off of the ground. So you're going to try to lift it off, but you should not be able to because you're at true end range. So the cues are very similar. Pails is external rotation, rails is internal rotation. Try to do a really good job of initiating the movement at the hip when you do so. Another thing to keep in mind is if you're in this nice 90 position on this back leg and you're still getting that knee tension, once again, what you can try to do is take that heel and scoot it in and just change the angle and see if that kind of helps dissipate the pain and tension in your knee. So just a few other ideas to kind of play around with. If you like this base position for hip internal rotation more, you can substitute it for that bear sit internal rotation base that we have in class 1. So you would just do this for that first portion, and then you can jump into the class 1 video and do the rest. So I hope this helps. Peace.